Hi everyone, it's Miss Morgan. I had planned to hop on Zoom and do this, but it's kind of rainy outside and yucky, and some people have lost power, and I'm praying that doesn't happen at my house. But I wanted to tell you all that every week I want to read a story, and I figured that reading a chapter book would be a little bit more fun because then you'll have something to look forward to every week. You'll be able to hop on Zoom and see what happens next in the story that we're reading. So this story is called The Trouble with Chickens, a J.J. Tully mystery. J.J. Tully is the dog, and the bird is who he's going to be helping out in the mystery. So this book is by Doreen Cronin, and I thought it would be a really cute book to start us off and for us to read, and hopefully we should be able to finish it before the school year's over. I'll make sure we do. And I do plan on doing these through Zoom, so we'll read maybe a chapter or two at a time, depending how long they are. And then we'll have some discussion questions at the end. But I am going to record everything that I do on Zoom as well. So if we read two chapters, I'll record those two chapters and post them on YouTube just in case you miss my Zoom and then you want to get caught up before the next one. Okay? So let's get started. So we'll start with chapter 1, and it's called Chicken Breath. It was a hot, sunny day when I met that crazy chicken. So hot that sometimes I think the whole thing may have been a mirage. But mirages don't have chicken breath, mister. She was a short, tired-looking bird with a funny red comb on her head. It looked about as useful to her as a spoon is to a snake. Her eyes were tiny and black and set so close to each other they practically touched. I'd be surprised if the right eye could report back seeing anything other than the left eye. Chickens make me nervous. Can't keep 'em quiet. We stared at each other for an awkward moment. I nodded to tell her to move on. She picked up her left foot carefully, not sure whether she should back out of my sweltering doghouse. As her foot hung in mid-air, she lowered her pointy white head and very deliberately said, "Nothing." So there's the dog and there's the chicken. They're going to be the main characters of our story. A phone rang, a car backfired, a blender roared, and that crazy chicken didn't blink. She was one tough bird. So that's already the end of chapter 1. So we'll move on to chapter 2. It's called Introductions. My name's Jonathan. Jonathan Joseph Tully. JJ for short. I spent 7 years as a search and rescue dog. The quiet life in the country where Barb, my trainer, lived was my reward for all those years of service. Some reward. I could track the 6-day-old scent of a lost hiker and pull a fat guy out from under a pile of rubble, but I couldn't get that crazy chicken out of my yard. Her name was Millicent. I called her Moosh, just because it was an easier to say and it seemed to annoy her. She had 2 little puffy chickens with her. She called them Little Boo and Peep. I called them Dirt and Sugar for no particular reason. Moosh had got the word that I knew how to solve problems. Boy, did that chicken have problems. "I'll pay you in chicken feed," said Moosh. That was the chicken's first problem. I don't work for feed. "No dice," I replied. Dirt and Sugar were bathing in my water bowl. "I'll pay you in feathers." That was the chicken's second problem. "I already got a pillow," I grumbled. Dirt and Sugar were playing in my food bowl. Crazy chicks. I was losing patience. "I'll work for a cheeseburger. Take it or leave it." Moosh's tiny chicken head cast a huge pointy shadow against the side of my weather-beaten doghouse. She took a step away from me, turning her head to glance at Dirt and Sugar. Those 2 feather balls jumped out of my water bowl and rolled around in the grass. They looked like they didn't have a care in the world, but their moms sure did. So there's Millicent, or Moosh, and JJ, and Moosh's 2 little chicks jumping all in JJ's water bowl. He didn't like that too much. A passing cloud offered some uncertain shade from the sun. Moosh's big, pointy chicken shadow finally moved. "Done," said Moosh. "Well done," I cracked. I thought she smiled, but it's tough to tell with the beak. So that's the end of chapter 2. So now I have some discussion questions for you all. So this is the same PowerPoint we'll look at every week. So here we go with section 1. What was on the chicken's head when the dog saw her for the first time? So what do you all think? I'll give you a little bit. A funny red comb. Okay, let's go to the next one. Why did chickens make the dog nervous? Because you can't keep them quiet. Okay, the next one. What was the dog's name? I just said it, so give it a guess. Jonathan Joseph Tully, or JJ for short. What did JJ Tully spend 7 years doing? What do you think? I think this was in chapter 2. He was a search and rescue dog. And what was his trainer's name and where did she live? So what was JJ's trainer's name and where did she live? Her name was Barb and she lived in the country with all the chickens, remember? And what was the chicken's name? Millicent, but JJ Tully called her Moosh. I think that's a cute name. Who are Dirt and Sugar? The two little puffy chickens with Moosh. Moosh called them Little Boo and Peep. They were her baby chicks. What did Moosh learn that JJ Tully was good at? Moosh learned that JJ Tully was good at solving problems. And that's the end of my questions. So I hope you all enjoyed the first 2 chapters of this book. I think it's going to be pretty interesting, solving a mystery with JJ Tully and Moosh. So I hope you like this book, and I hope you're excited to keep reading. And we'll see you next week with probably chapters 3 and 4. Bye.